Hi, so if you've been following my other guides, you'll know that when it comes to Retribution and Hellfire Citadel, there are a few things we stick to. We almost exclusively use Sanctified Wrath. We will absolutely always have the empty drinking horn equipped. We'll be using Avenging Wrath, of course, whenever the ring is popped, and we'll be using our chargers whenever things have to die that aren't dying quickly enough. We might use them for AoE packs, we might use them for priority adds, we might just use them for important burst phases. But what happens when you're farming it for so long that some fights just get so short that the actual conventions get thrown out of the window? Well, I'm going to show you what we do through Iron Reaver. Now I'm going to talk about Iron Reaver for this one and demonstrate it, simply because it's the most extreme example. There are a number of fights where as you increase your DPS and increase your gear, that you will complete much more quickly, and these same general rules may or may not apply to, depending on how much DPS you can get out of your raid. Iron Reaver is an extreme example because by killing him in less than 2 minutes initially, you get away with the fly phase, so you get a massive reduction in the overall time just by beating that phase. In other fights, you don't sort of miss out phases generally. They just go through much more quickly. Now, this particular video I'm showing you here is not the example I'm going to show. This is a much earlier one. And for some reason I had Light's Hammer, but that was back in the days when I used to forget to change talent sometimes after Hellfire Assault. So sorry about that. But the reason being that if I was to go through this, showing you the video of the Iron Reaver that I am going to show at the end, it would be over before I'd finished talking. So without further ado, there are a few things we are going to do. The first of all is look at Avenging Wrath. If you are beating the fight in less than 1.5 minutes, then you will be wasting Avenging Wrath if you just use it on cooldown. Because you could use your first one half a minute later, because of course we use Sanctified Wrath, even on this fight. Half a minute later, then you do the next one, then after the minute mark you do the next one, and that'll last up to 1.5 minutes. If you're killing it in less than that time, it means you've wasted it. So we're going to make full advantage of the ring here and stack Avenging Wrath. So what this means is we create a special macro that means that when we use Avenging Wrath, we also cancel an Avenging Wrath that is currently up. Now the benefit of doing this is to maximize our stacks of Wings of Liberty. So we use Avenging Wrath when the ring is used, which is always at the start. I use Seraphim on this one as well. Now I'm not saying you have to use Seraphim. If you're happy using Final Verdict, then go ahead, use Final Verdict, but I'm still using Seraphim. What we need to do then is to, when we get our final stack of Wings of Liberty gone, it's faded, then we use that macro again and it'll start building it up again. So we're getting some of that during the ring. So that means we've always got some sort of Wings of Liberty while the ring is up. Then what I personally do, because I'm using Seraphim, is at the half-minute mark, or more realistically 35-minute mark, when Seraphim is available again, then I cancel that Avenging Wrath and I start a new one to get maximum benefit from my Seraphim. And the whole fight only lasts a minute anyway, so that's fine. If it lasts a little bit over a minute and you're not using Seraphim, then you probably want to leave it a little bit before you use that final charge of Avenging Wrath. Now when it comes to trinkets, another convention being booked here. We would use Empty Drinking Horn on every fight. It's just a really powerful trinket. Why wouldn't we? We'd also, if we can maintain the stacks, always use Librum of Vindication. Now on this fight, certainly Librum of Vindication, because you've only got one target anyway, and he's not going to go up for the fly face. You're not going to lose the buffs ever. So definitely use that. But the other thing is, rather than Empty Drinking Horn, I am using Unending Hunger. And the reason for this is that it will be doing its business during the ring, while the ring is active, and while Seraphim is active, and while Avenging Wrath with the double Wings of Liberty is active, so is that. So it stacks up to make a very large damage increase. And usually with Unending Hunger, because over the course of a fight, It procs at unpredictable times after the first one. That's what doesn't make it as good as Empty Drinking Horn in all situations. But that won't apply here because we only expect it to proc once right at the start, during our ring, during our double Avenging Wrath, to maximise our overall damage. So here we go. This is the actual one from my latest.
5, 4, 3.
Had it been in England, he'd just fucking have ran.
Have you been in Balkan, you'd get shot.
Wow.
It's true. Was he black, K-Man?
No. Was he old or young?
I don't know, 50 maybe.
That's probably why he knocked. He can't drive away fast enough to not get caught anyway.
But at 50, that it's like you can drive.
Nah, I didn't want the fucking bad karma to follow him when he died next week. Fucking old age.
You think like everyone dies at like 50?
50 is not even that old, man.
Well,
It's older than 49!
oh, who's gonna die?
So looking at my buffs graph from that fight, you can see, of course, Avenging Wrath up for the full time, Focus of Vengeance up. The Seraphim, Unending Hunger, Hungering Blows buff, Wings of Liberty, all up during the ring as much as I can. Obviously, Seraphim takes a little build-up time. The people who really go for ranks on this build up 5 Holy Power, get sort of summoned in to the boss just before the pull to maintain those stacks, but I'm not into that sort of trickery. And you can see that all my offensive buffs are all up during the ring, all trying to maximise in the ring, and I'm not losing any over the rest of the fight. In fact, Hungering Blows, 67% uptime during the fight, which sort of justifies using that over Empty Drinking Horn in this particular case. So there you go, just have a think about that. If you are getting any fights killed really, really quickly, then you might want to think of doing some of these yourself if you're not already doing them. So hopefully that was of interest. If it was, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if it wasn't, don't forget to comment. And until next time, I'll see you later.